open the sports page with the Orlando Sentinel and FM 96.9 The Game's Mike the Bulldog Bianchi.
On JRR.
Bulldog Sports page brought to you by Kaufman and Lynn. Remember, Jeff Kaufman will be here next hour for this week's Law and Disorder. Still accepting your legal questions at 22526 if you want to text him over. Good morning, Mike Bianchi.
Good morning, Pat, Lynch, and Taco Bob. Before we get into football, Lynch, did you actually watch that scam of a fight on Friday night?
Yeah, we're going to be talking more about that this morning. It was more. Let me put it to you this way, Bulldog. I attempted to watch it.
Yeah.
I was actually at a party on Friday night, and they had the fights on, but it was like 11:30, and the fight wasn't even on yet, so I had to go home.
It was you're lucky that you went home.
Come on.
Midnight, and besides that, I mean, there were a couple undercard matches. The women's match was good.
The women's, we'll talk about it a little bit later, but what a sham.
The Netflix streaming glitches, we're going to get into that in a little while. But yeah, the fight itself, I mean, it went to distance, but it was boring, man, right?
Yeah. Well, anyway, I didn't watch it. So.
Okay.
All right. Orlando Pride advanced to the NWSL Championship game. They win yesterday at the Purple Palace. They beat Kansas City 3-2, so they are now in the title game. That'll be next Saturday night in Kansas City against the Washington Spirit. So the Orlando Pride have a chance to win an actual professional championship for the city of Orlando. The Bulldogs may actually go to Kansas City next week.
Kansas City!
Kansas City, here I come.
You might get some barbecue.
The two best teams in that league ended up in the championship game, which is nice, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And hopefully Orlando can bring home the title, the cup, next week. Magic red hot over the weekend. They continue to win. They won their fifth straight home game. Held another opponent under 100 points, 98-86. They beat Philly. That was on Friday night. They haven't played since, but they've won 5 in a row, and their defense might be the best in the league. Again, to hold 5 straight opponents under 100 points in the NBA, that hasn't been done in Orlando, by the way, in the last 8 years.
Wow.
So, yeah, their defense is playing lights out right now, and of course, the Franz age looking good.
Now they're on the road tonight. Phoenix tonight?
At Phoenix tonight. They begin a 3-game road trip. By the way, Taco Bob, I got your name in the paper the other day.
Oh, with the Franz?
Yep, for the Franz.
Hell yeah. I was talking to my buddy over the weekend, and I said, we were talking to Magic. I said, at least we have the Magic, you know? And I said, how about the Franz? He goes, yep, I saw some in the paper. Thanks, dog.
There you have it. All right, the Jaguars yesterday got absolutely annihilated by Lynch's Meathead Lions, 52-6. That was the worst loss in Jaguars history, the most lopsided win in Lions history. How about this? The Lions had a franchise record, 645 total yards. The Jaguars had 170. 170. That 475-yard margin, that was the third largest in league history. God. So Jaguars now 2-1. They've lost 14 of their last 17 dating back to last year. They have a bye week this week. I would expect Doug Peterson, the coach, and the GM Trent Baalke to be fired today.
Yeah.
Today. So, yeah, the Lions are unbelievable. Jared Goff, what did he have, 4 or 5 touchdown passes, threw for over 400 yards. So, Lions are unbelievable. The Dolphins beat the Raiders yesterday. Tua throws 3 touchdown passes. Dolphins win that game 34-19. Dolphins slowly but surely getting back into the wild card race. The Bengals lose yesterday, so that helped the Dolphins in the wild card race. Ravens lose as well. So maybe the Dolphins can get back in this wild card race. They have another easy game this week. I can't remember who exactly
they have the
play,
Patriots this week?
Yeah, they have the Patriots. That's who it is. So, yeah, they should win that game as well. Other NFL games of note, the Bills, man. They handed the Chiefs their first loss of the season. Josh Allen was a monster, ran for 26-yard touchdown near the end of the game. It was 4th and 2. They could have kicked the field goal, but Kansas City would have gotten the ball back with a chance to win, and Sean McDermott said, no, we're not giving Patrick Mahomes the ball back. So 4th and 2, they go for it, and Josh Allen runs for a 26-yard touchdown to seal the victory. Steelers beat the Ravens on 6 field goals. Didn't score a touchdown, but they had 6 field goals, beat the Ravens 18.
That game was a grinder, just a grinder, man.
I had that kicker. I told Pat with fantasy this whole weekend, I'm not looking at it. I made sure my players were in, and I still haven't looked. But the Steelers kicker got 6 field goals?
6 field, yep. 6
Oh, yeah, baby. And watch, when I look at it, I'm probably lost anyway. It was a great weekend. Don't look at your fantasy team from now on, especially if you're 2-8.
Right.
Yeah.
The Chargers, man, they look good. Jim Harbaugh, he's a cheater in college, but he's a hell of a coach. There's no question about it. They beat the Bengals 34-27. What are they, 8-3 right now? So it looks like they're going to make the playoffs. 49ers lose again, this time to the Seahawks at home. Geno Smith scores a late touchdown run in that game. So 49ers not looking very good. What about the Jets? They can't even beat Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson looked like a beast against the Jets. He drove them down the field, scores in the final seconds as the Colts beat the Jets 28-27.
I told you that with AR, I remember watching him at my daughter's up at Florida, and that guy is hot, cold, and you're going to see it again. People don't trust him.
Speaking of Florida, how about the Gators? LSU, baby.
Gators beat LSU on Saturday. They've got 5 wins now. All they need to do is win one of their last 2 to get bowl eligible. They get a big-time recruit commitment, decommitted from Florida State over the weekend and committed to Florida. Say what you will about Billy Napier's team. They're getting better. They've got Ole Miss this week. Then they have Florida State, so they'll probably be bowl eligible. The future's actually looking pretty bright.
I'd be concerned more so for LSU. I texted you over the weekend. I think someone's going to disappear Brian Kelly in a bayou.
Yeah, he's lost 3 in a row. He was yelling at his players on Saturday. His players were yelling back at him. So yeah,
I was reading
ugly.
I was reading lips, and I think I saw about 20 F-bombs in one sentence out of his lips to a player. I go, that ain't good, dude.
Yeah, it was bad. Kansas beats BYU over the weekend. BYU had been unbeaten. Kansas only had 3 wins, but they beat BYU 17-13. That was the big upset. Oregon almost goes down to Wisconsin.
Yeah, that was a close game.
What about those Georgia Bulldogs just taking Tennessee, just taking them to the woodshed?
Louisville losing to Stanford.
Well, is that surprising in the ACC?
Oh my God, that certainly doesn't help the Miami Hurricanes. I'll tell you that.
And by the way, slowly but surely, Coach Prime marching toward a Big 12 championship.
Did you watch the 10 o'clock game?
I did not watch it.
I did watch like the second half, and I'm sorry, guys. I root against Prime.
I
have to. I can't handle the whole, the whole cockiness. Ugh.
Get ready for it because the show's coming to the NFL, buddy.
He gets the TV ratings, though. There's no question about that.
I watched it.
All right. Mike the Bulldog Bianchi. If you want to talk more on this Overreaction Football Monday, you'll find him on adjacent to us on AM 740 and FM 96.9 The Game, host an open mic. We thank you for your time each morning here to do the sports page on JRR, brought to you by Kaufman and Lind.
Listen to Under Oath with attorney Jeff Coppin every Saturday morning, 7:30 on FM 96.9 The Game. You can catch extended versions on your favorite streaming platform. Oh, oh.
Lynch and Tom. Are always on demand.
Download their podcast daily on our free iHeartRadio app.
Get it now at WJRR.com.
From the Bogan Monday.